What is up, guys? Jake here with the next Vainglory video, and this is another fan match. You can see I'm hooked up with Hammy and Plotsky. Actually, Plotsky's in the main vein now. Hammy is, I don't believe he is yet, but they were both guys that have been in the stream, and I think Plotsky was in TMV2 for a while. So, guys that have been around that I'm comfortable playing with for sure. But they like to hang out in the streams and fans of the channel and all that good stuff. So I like playing with those guys. This was back in 117, actually. So when you're seeing these draft picks, don't think it's like the current meta. This is one I've had recorded for a while and just decided to go ahead and put out because I think it has a good lesson in it. You see, we ban out the Scarf, they ban out Sky. We pick up the Adagio, and they go with Glaive Ringo, which is super, super strong in 117, and Glaive was just a monster. So we picked up Arden, and I went with the Blackfeather because we had the Adagio. And we are obviously, they have in my opinion, they have, especially in the jungle, an early game advantage. Blackfeather not strong at all early game. They could just run over us 2v2 in the jungle early. Now, they did have Catherine, which is pretty weak early game, but still, I think they had the advantage with it. With 117 Glaive, they could have done it. The lesson here in this match, and I think you need to watch it, is they just gave us all the time in the world. There was never an invasion. There was never really even a threat of an invasion, and it allowed us to just sit back and farm and pick the fights that we wanted. Well, you can't do that. You have to if you want to go to the next level of play. I mean, if you're hanging out in PG and maybe even in hotness, and you want to get to that next level, you just can't seem to get there. You've got to learn who has an advantage and when, and pick your fights. That's what takes you to that next level. Teamwork, all that stuff obviously comes into play, but a big part of it is simply knowing the game, knowing the meta, knowing who is strong early, who is strong mid-game, who is strong late, and when you have those power spikes and when your enemy has those power spikes. You'll see what I'm talking about here. They literally ran from us. I know we had Adagio rotating down, so it was probably a smart move, but right here, they could have turned it right back. As soon as Adagio went back in the lane, they could have invaded. Even if it was just Glaive, 1v1, he wrecks me right here in 117. So they didn't. They just went back and farmed, and they let me farm. And this is a theme that went on throughout this match. Now, right here, I don't know what I was doing. I screwed up my buy. Why I would buy 6 cents there, I have no idea, so don't ask me. It just happened. Later, I have to sell it and try to fix my build, which is actually a pretty big negative for us. I mean, yeah, I had the weapon power out here, but I knew we were in good shape here. We rotated down as 3, caught him in a 2v3 situation. So we did a ton of damage to Glaive. He had to run away. Catherine was already low, so we went ahead and finished her off before she gets back to the lane. So, that was where we came out ahead in the early game when we shouldn't have, is our teamwork, our communication, our rotations down. Hammy rotating down out of that lane makes a big difference. In 2v3, I don't care who you are. You've probably, at 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, you're probably going to win that fight. So as we rotated up through the lane, we knew that they weren't there. Ringo was sort of cut off from his team. We rotated down, got the kill. Go ahead and take their fronts. We don't want to get too greedy here because we could get caught in a bad situation. Again, being just 2v2, I'm not sure who would win that fight just yet, even though we're probably ahead on gold. But my build screwed up, all that good stuff. We just go back up to the lane, see if we can mess with Ringo some, bother Catherine, pop her scout mines, all that stuff. Let Hammy, farm it up there, because if we get this Adagio built, it's probably over. Glaive finally comes up. You see how much damage he does. I mean, it was ridiculous back then. It's still a little bit strong, but it's not anything like it was back in the 117. So I just fall back, grab my farm. Again, no invasion, no threat of an invasion from Glaive, even knowing that I'm in here by myself. I mean, they can see Arden and Adagio in that lane up there. This Glaive should have been all over my satchel, and he wasn't. Take my minion mine, get back to the store here, and I'm trying to figure out at this point how I want to correct this mistake. I mean, I've got quite a bit of gold. I go ahead and buy the heavy steel. I know I don't have enough left to do anything yet, so I just leave it on. I got a lot of weapon damage, but I've got to get that 6 cents pulled off and get my build back on track. I jump into some pretty big damage there from Glaive. Again, he just does a ton. You see, chuck me down about 1/4 of my health. So we're just trying to hold this bush, keep them off. I'm trying to poke in there, let them know that we're still here. And then once that, I know my backs and my jungle is starting to spawn, I'll rotate back down pretty confidently too. And we're on TeamSpeak or Discord telling him to go ahead, because I know that that Glaive's not going to invade me. So right here, I just fall back. I just said, okay, I'm going to go shop. I'm ready to get rid of this 6 cents. I need to get some damage. I need to get that heal. Or it's not some damage. I need to get some health. I need to get tankier. That's the thing with Blackfeather. When he starts getting strong is when he starts getting tanky. He just sort of outlasts people in a fight. He doesn't just burst them down. So grab my jungle, take care of all that, getting healed back up from that book now. So that's nice. back up into the lane. We know that, this is going to be where the fight is going to probably take place. That's where they want it to take place. They don't want to fight us in the jungle. So again, we rotate up as 3, kind of put a little pressure on him. Here comes the ultimate from Ringo, but unfortunately for him, he landed on a minion. So we were kind of cracking up about that, but it happens. Back down to the jungle. From here, trying to get to that Serpent's Mask. I want to get that first so I can have some damage and also have some sustainability, because I think that's going to be the key for these fights. Go ahead and grab my jungle. Look at what I'm talking about here, guys. We're at what? Almost 8 minutes, 7.5 minutes. Adagio Blackfeather. You have got to be super aggressive against a comp like this. A late game comp that you know when that Adagio gets built, you know when that Blackfeather gets built, what are you going to do with them? You got to pour the pressure on, guys. That's the only reason I want to show this match. I didn't play exceptionally well. Again, screwing my build up. You'll see. I make mistakes several times here in this match. But this is their mistake. This passiveness. You have to know, do we have the early game comp? Do we have the late game comp? Do we have the mid game comp? When is our strength? When is their weakness? Obviously, Adagio still pretty strong in 117 early game, but he's super strong late game. And when you get a Blackfeather with him, that's going to be dive in your face, dive in your Ringo. What do you think's going to happen? I just don't understand it. This right here was, I don't know what I was thinking. They're all 3 there. I saw they were all 3 there. And for some reason here, just a moment I face checked this bush. I think I might have thought when they saw Adagio come up, they rotated away, but they didn't. They just exploded me. And then they come in and exploded all of us. When Hammy dropped that ultimate, they knew they could dive. Went in, and that was that. They got the ace. They got the turret. Mistake on our part, my part especially. So they got the turret, but nope, it's not the end of the world. Actually, they got it right there. Trying to get up there and get that Ringo, but he gets away just in time. Then, Catherine calls back just in time there. So I'm going to go down to the store, see if they're there. Yes, they are, but they're running. They're playing smart here because, they don't need to engage right here. Catherine just went back. It'd be a potential 2v3, so that's a smart move by them. But again, just showing that they are pretty passive. They're letting us, for the most part, pick the fights, minus me face checking a bush like a moron. But besides that, they just let us decide when the fights take place, and you can't do that. You got to pick your fights. So go back to the store, get bought up again here, get some defense. I think I grabbed that Atlas right there, which is what I was wanting to get for that Ringo. Obviously, if you get on that Ringo, it's easy to dive him with a Blackfeather. If you get him Atlased up, he's pretty much worthless. So I don't think he had a reflex block here just yet. I can't remember if he did or not. But regardless, the first few Atlases do land on him. So they're just sort of hanging out in that bush, playing again passively. So we're content with farming. Here we are at 12 minutes. We got 3 minutes till Kraken. Why not continue to farm, continue to get stronger for when this fight does break out? We're in a position that we know we can win it. So we're just letting Adagio farm the lane. I'm grabbing my jungle. They're not even attempting to take any of it. They're, again, hanging out in the lane up there sort of as soon as they see us, they run away. I don't know. I don't know what to say about it, but I like it. When you're on a Blackfeather Adagio and this is what's happening, don't force it. Just get stronger. Keep farming. There's my Atlas. I'm sorry, I didn't get the Atlas yet. Now I've got my Atlas. Now they come down, and again, we get to pick our fight. Drop the gauntlet. We've got the damage on him. We delete the glaive, so he's gone. Now they're having to just run, and it's just a matter of us chasing down the Ringo. He's going towards our jungle. I don't know where he thought he would get away there, but there's no chance. I come in, Atlas him. Now he's just sort of bouncing back and forth and dying. So 2 for nothing right there. Again, us picking the fight, not them. Well, actually, I guess they kind of did, but it was a bad pick for them. Right in that choke point where we could use the gauntlet. We could use everything right there. So Catherine's just sort of hanging out, want to steal this, but Hammy rotates around, so we kind of catch her in a bad spot and explode her. She's almost dead. One more hit, she goes down. Glaive shows up. That's fine. We'll take him too. Putting some good damage on him. He does start to run away and knocks me back. Almost dies, but that's fine. That's a turret. I make the mistake of being a little bit too aggressive here, and that for some reason that A ability, I think it was a bug in 117 where it's putting you on the opposite side of a turret right there, which is what happened, and put me right in range of Ringo, who just pretty much deleted me, ulted me down. But we still grabbed the gold mine, grabbed the turret, so a pretty huge gold swing for us right there. My death, not that significant. But we're approaching the 15-minute mark. Again, we've got our, I've got my Serpent's Mask, I've got my Shiver Steel now, I've got my Atlas. There's a lot of strength in our position right now, and so Adagio calls back, and we thought they might go for Kraken here, but really it's a bad play with all 3 of us up, and they don't know where we're at, and they know we're healthy, and we can show up at any time. This is just a bad play. It's a bad Kraken call. They went on immediately at 15 minutes. Well, here we come. Obviously, Catherine's low health. We gauntlet them. We catch him in there. They have to use the reflex blocks. Now we come in. Again, Atlas him up. He has to run away. He's trying to get to the store to buy, but it's not going to help him. He goes down. Arden takes out the ring, or Arden takes out Adagio, takes out the Catherine. I think Glaive gets away, but it doesn't matter. It's just, again, they got nothing for this Kraken. They're going to get one turret. We're going to get Kraken. It's a net gold swing for us. So just a bad decision right there, in my opinion, to even attempt to grab that with all three of the enemy alive. You don't do that. You wait. You pick a fight. You ambush. You take someone out. Even if you only take one of them out in an ambush, one of your enemy team, that's when you go for the Kraken, because then you're making them decide. Do we want to try to steal it? Do we want to try to contest it in a 2v2 situation? Or do we want to just give it to them? What they did there, they allowed us to, one, either try to steal it, or two, do exactly what we did, just get set up. As soon as they take it, we engage. We know they're already lower health than what they would be. Yes, it's the Kraken buff, but we are engaging them at that point. They're not engaging us. It's a big difference. So right here, we're just sort of trying to find them. Again, Gauntlet goes down here. They're falling back. Right there was a nice Crucible by the Catherine, and then the reflex block by Ringo. They actually blocked my Atlas here, but I don't know why I didn't Shiver Steal him. I was just being dumb. But it doesn't matter. Glaive goes down. Ringo goes down. Dagio actually picking up those kills, but that's fine. It's no big deal. I don't care who gets the kills, but get them. That means 2 turrets go down here, I believe. Yeah, we get another turret right here. And so, again, huge, an ace, 2 turrets. It's pretty much everything's going our way. So we're just sort of, wanting to play it safe, don't make any mistakes, and the game is ours. So take their whole jungle. Decided to not take their minion mine. We don't want to let them just turtle up and, farm. So we won't let them have that. Go ahead and double infuse, because this was, again, back in 117 when you could double infuse. And now we're going to force them to either fight or just give us the Kraken. Fine. You see it? Yes, we're going on the Kraken. What are you going to do type thing? If they're going to come in and fight, we feel like we can win. I'm double infused. We're feeling good. If they don't, we'll take a free Kraken and possibly push for a game. So that's what happens. They, again, play passively, fall back to the base. We've only got 2 turrets to deal with, and so now it's just a matter of, can we play it safe enough and smart enough to get that done. So here comes Ringo opening up with the ultimate, but on the Kraken for some reason. We do drop the Gauntlet right there, get a good bit of damage onto Glaive and onto Ringo, but they both get back to the base and they use their fountain. So now we're feeling pretty good. They haven't touched the Kraken at all, so we run down. He's got the turret to half health. We take it out real quickly. And now I make a dumb mistake here. I should have just stayed back, done a little bit of poking, let Adagio poke. I get right up in their grill, and obviously Ringo, Glaive, they just explode me. But the second turret is down. The Kraken is still up, doing some damage, and obviously Hammy, Plotsky banging away on that vein, and it does go down. So there you go, guys. Again, just to hammer home the lesson, know if you are strong late game, early game, and you have to press your advantage when you have it. You cannot let late game heroes sit back, farm up. It rarely will work out. So there's the builds. Nothing out of the ordinary for 117. Hope you guys liked it. Until next time, Jake, doing my best to help you guys suck less.